we go. Hi, guys. Good morning. So nice. Fucking the dopes. What's up, Dopey Nation? This is fucking awesome. Look, this guy's got the dopey in the background. He's like fucking serious. He's like, I'm going to represent. Holy shit. What's up? All right. Oh, God, it's early here. You fucker, Annie. Uh, all right, I'm Amy, and I'm a fucking alcoholic and a junkie and a sex addict and a fucking nicotine addict and a caffeine addict and a nap addict and fucking all that shit, everything, except for gambling. I don't like gambling because I'm a Jew when we don't like to lose money. You know what I mean? I don't know where that came from. That was really weird. I'm sorry. It's early. Liz is laughing. I'm also not good at it, so I just don't like it. All right, my story. I'm fucking 50 fucking years old, and that I look pretty fucking good for fucking 50 years old. And that means that fucking immaturity preserves you. That's what this is all about. This is just like all meth and crack and a little bit of oxy here and Four Loko here. A little bit of domestic violence over here. I don't know why I fucking look like this. I should look like an Apple doll. So I grew up in Beverly Hills. My father was a screenwriter. My mother was a fucking designer. I have a lot of alcoholism and mental illness in my family. I suffer from a lot of depression. And it's really been gnarly during the epidemic, I have to say. Like, you know, there's one thing to be sort of like a hermit and like work from home. But at least I could go places. Now there's like fucking nowhere to fucking go. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. For me, it's been really difficult and depressing, and also like feeling very disconnected from other people. I was telling some people that like I took a walk with my roommate who's stuck here from New York, thank God, because he's cooking for me. And although I think he's going to kill me soon, he's definitely going to kill me soon. He's so over me. And he's a normie, gay normie, and I sneezed, and like someone from a block away turned and like gave me a fucking dirty look. I was like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, but it just feels scary. I think that I'm seeing a lot of people relapsing during this period and a lot of people struggling because I think it's like the perfect storm for us. You know what I mean? With like a lot of people have lost their jobs. So it's like the perfect storm of like fucking financial insecurity and isolation and kind of just like fear. So, like, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of people completely lose their shit. I've suffered from depression, but I haven't picked up. I am fucking vaping here and there. I know Lizzie was like, what is she doing? I know, but it's like, hey guys, whatever. It's better than a needle in my neck, right? Steve looks so bored. You look less bored, Steven. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right. Very sensitive American. So my father basically was like, hey, I bet you're going to smoke or drink or do drugs before you're 18. And if you don't, I'll give you $1,000. And I was like, fucking sweet. You know what I mean? Bribery. Like, that's the way to go. And in case your mom, if you got all you moms out there, bribery worked for me. So I waited till I was 19 to drink, and I was in college, and, you know, I was like, here I am, and I'm a virgin, and I've never drank, and I'm so pure, and it's so cool, and everyone's like, what a fucking freak, and I was like, oh, it's not cool at all, and so, like, I got laid and loaded immediately, and, you know, my drinking was, you know, I fell down, I blacked out at 20, and it was like, I mean, it was college in the 80s, you know, everyone was fucking throwing up and drinking. It's like what it looked like. It didn't look that different from anyone else's use. Uh, I had a nervous breakdown. I've had a couple nervous breakdowns. If anyone wants to marry me, I'm good with like that. I've been in like psych wards. I'm open for dating. Um, at 24, I found crystal meth, and that to me was that was like my drug of choice. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. It made me feel normal. You know what I mean? Tittier, wittier, and fucking prettier. And it gave me energy and I was creative, and, you know, it didn't matter that I was fucking, you know, refinishing furniture or collaging. I was like, I'm productive, you know, or fucking plucking my eyebrows for 11 straight hours. Like, I don't know. I felt great. And, it became, well, you know, meth is gnarly, as you guys know. It's like, it's hard to fucking, you know, there are no old tweakers because they're all fucking dead. So I ended up getting like a huge infection in my face from crystal because that shit's dirty as fuck. And I mean, maybe there's cleaner stuff now. It certainly wasn't the days of, what's the show, Breaking Bad. This was like fucking peanut butter, fucking crank, like from the streets. It was gnarly, but it worked. I stayed up for 17 days writing a new Bible. You guys have heard all this shit on Dopey. I thought I had the mathematical equation for God. Like, I was fucking out of my fucking mind. And I've been in, God, I went into rehab. And when you get off crystal, you gain a lot of weight, just so you know, just heads up, guys. I was like, oh, I'm very sort of curvaceous now. Yikes. I remember being in rehab and bending down and my pants split. I was like, okay. I got out of rehab, and I didn't think I had a problem with booze. I thought I was just a tweaker. And so I started drinking, and I was in a blackout for 3 weeks. And like some friend of mine from college had come to visit me, and she left in the middle of the night and left me like an 8-page letter about what a jackass I am when I'm drinking. And I was like, oh, I guess that didn't work out very well. So I stayed off everything for about 7 years. I lived in London, I lived in Paris, and I did okay. And then I came back to LA, and I was like making out with some like loser at the Standard, I don't know, hotel, and he blew pot smoke in my mouth. And I don't even like pot, guys. Like, it makes me really paranoid and fucking slow and stupid. But all of a sudden I was like high for the first time in like, you know, 7 years. And I was like, fucking, oh yeah, holy yeah. And so I was like, I can smoke pot because I fucking hate pot. That's the thing, right? I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but like, I do drugs that I didn't even like. I didn't even like the feeling. I just liked feeling different than how I normally felt. And right? Yeah, everyone gets that. And so, yeah, so I was smoking pot every day and totally hating it and being totally paranoid and still doing it. So I've been fired from like 7 fucking jobs, you know, for either being fucking like crying on the job or being drunk or being high or whatever. I'm a really good employee. So then slowly the pot, I was like, well, you know, it's been 7 years. I can drink. It'll be fine. And so I started drinking, and then all of a sudden I'm drinking in the morning, and I'm like, oops. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, you know, I can do cocaine because cocaine is natural. Like, meth is made from like gun bluing and Drano. Like, fuck it. You know, coke is different and it'll be fine. And so now I'm doing coke, and then I'm in my second rehab. And I'm like, fuck. So I get out of my second rehab where I fucked a sweaty, insane movie star that's in the book. Can tell you guys who it is. You probably won't even know. He's so out of his mind and has relapsed this whole time, and is like just keeps getting arrested and just looks more and more like Faces of Meth. It's really sad. And he wasn't even that great of a lay. But anyway, sorry. Is it too? Oh, it's not early there. What am I talking about? I got out of treatment, and I was like, I want to get high. And so I went through and I was like, who would be fucking high? And I thought, this fucking dude, right? This like rich junkie kid would be high. So I call him, and he comes over with like God, what's it called? A Wizinator? I don't know if you guys know what this is. It's a fake penis that you fill with fake urine that you put in your pants so you can fucking test clean. I was like, okay, like, wow, like this guy's like a pro, right? This guy's been fucking in and out of this guy's shooting speedballs. He's been in and out of treatment. And he came over with a bunch of shit and needles. And he goes, why aren't you shooting up? It's so much better. And you save money. And it's a better high. And again, I'm a Jew. And I was like, save money? Hello. Like, I like that. And so at this point, I had relapsed out of my second rehab, and I'm like in my 30s. And I'm just like, I'm never going to get sober. Like, I'm just I'm going to die junkie. So let's just go for it. So I started shooting up with this guy, shooting coke. I'm shooting coke. I never shot heroin. I smoked heroin and fell asleep, and I was like, that's boring. Uh, so I would shoot coke and like, tweak out. And at this point, I had epilepsy from crystal meth. So about 5 years in, I had 5 years clean time, and I started having grand mal seizures when I was living in Paris. And I saw this French neurologist, and he's like, "Did you do a lot of drugs?" And I was like, and he was like, "You have a hyperactive lesions on your brain." And I was like, "Fuck." And he's like, and so I had to go on anticonvulsant drugs, and but when you should not shoot coke when you have epilepsy, just in general. You can shoot coke and have a seizure anyway. I'm sure everyone fucking sees out or have heart attacks. So of course I'm shooting coke and I have epilepsy, and so I'm seizing. So instead of like going, oh, I really shouldn't shoot coke with epilepsy, I'm like, well, how do I not crack my head open while I'm shooting cocaine? And I think, oh my God. First I lay in a pit of pillows, and I was like, that's kind of weird, and I'm not sure I'm going to make it in time. And so then I thought, I'm going to shoot coke wearing a bike helmet, because that fucking makes sense to me. So I was shooting coke wearing a fucking bike helmet. And that is my fucking, I still think that makes great sense. Sorry. I mean, maybe that makes me insane, but it did keep me from from cracking my head open. Oh, that's not true. I cracked my head open another time. One time when I was getting high with this guy, I shot up and I had like a 20-minute convulsion, and he was outside having a fucking heart attack. And he came back in, and we were both like, that coke is no good. That was how we reacted to it. Not like, hey, we should both kind of get sober. We were both like, that coke sucks. We're never buying from that dealer again. Like, what the fuck was in that shit? You guys, it's just been more rehabs. Just like more rehabs, more psych wards. I get loaded and I try and kill myself. It's never fun. It's always gnarly, and I keep doing it over and over. So I got married to this rich guy who owned rehabs, and my parents cut me off, and I was like, I don't want to work because I'm a lazy piece of shit, and I was a princess, and so I married this rich guy who owned rehabs, and he was like a psychiatric social worker, and I thought, perfect, it'll be like being in treatment for the rest of my fucking life, but you can have sex with the person that fucking is the head nurse. It'll be great. Right? And it was the most awful marriage ever. He was like madly in love with me, and I was kind of like, oh, and I was kind of a dick. I had gone from like sport fucking to being a wife, and that's like a huge gap to bridge. You know what I mean? Like, he was my first relationship, so I wasn't the best wife in the world. When you're just like banging people and being like, peace out, and then all of a sudden you're like married to someone. It's like, okay, like I had major intimacy issues. Anyway, I got a shoulder injury, and they gave me Oxycontin. And I was like, well, it'll be fine, because I don't even like fucking Oxy. And I like anything that makes me fucking feel different, period. That's it. I'll have a 7-shot latte, and fucking the people at Starbucks are like, are you sure? And I'm like, you don't have to be around me. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking worry about it. Just make the drink, bitches. So I was on Oxycontin, and I started drinking Four Loko, which is like, I don't even know if you guys have that here. It's like this really gross malt beverage that has like, it's like 5 beers and like 6 cups of coffee in one can, and it's flavored. It's so fucking disgusting. I think it's illegal now. Anyway, I was high and drunk, and it was Christmas of 2011, and I got in a fight with my now ex-husband, and it got physical, and I pulled a knife on him. And I was like, I'll gut you like a fish, you fat motherfucker. And he called the cops on me, and he was like, he's like, you're fucking done, bitch. And he was just like, my wife's a drug addict. She just pulled a knife on me. She's mentally ill. And I got arrested for felony domestic violence with a deadly weapon, and I went to jail. That was sort of the beginning of me getting sober. I didn't get sober right away because, for me, I was like, oh, now I've lost everything. I've lost my marriage, my car, my house, my health insurance, my, everything. So now I'm going to just drink over it. and now I have a criminal charge, right? Instead of like getting it together, we drink over being like everything that we fucked up, which doesn't make any sense. But so I kept drinking, and then I slit my wrists on. I sent pictures to everybody because that's what you do when you're fucking drunk listening to Nine Inch Nails. You're like, look what I've done. Bye, everybody. And of course, someone called the cops on me, and I got. So the cops come, and I was like, I'll just put on a sweatshirt. They'll never know, and I won't slur. It'll be fine. And they were like, hey, we got a call that maybe, you're in trouble. And I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. They're like, can we see your wrists? And I was like, and so I had like fucking like deep fucking stab things. And they were like, that was it. So back to the psych ward. And if you haven't been to the psych ward, it sucks. It is like, people who think they're Thomas Jefferson, and you're doing puzzles and making it's gnarly. And the food's terrible, and it's fucking depressing as hell. And I don't know why they put depressed people in the psych ward, because it's the most depressing place on the fucking planet. And I've written a bunch about it in the book. So I went into treatment again. I relapsed again in treatment. I drank a bottle of vodka, and I was like fucking everybody. Because that's what you do, right? You put down fucking drugs and alcohol, and then you're like, what else can I fucking check out with? Like, hi, Netflix and dick and fucking food and cigarettes and whatever. So they kicked me out, and then they sent me to another sober living that was all men, which is a great place to send a sex addict. Just send a female sex addict to a place that's like me and 7 dudes. So that was not, I only fooled around with one, you guys. I wasn't like a total whore. And he was like 24. I was like 42, 43. But what was weird was he was like in school to be like a priest or something fucking creepy. Anyway, he was like, I can't fuck you. Like, I have to, like God will punish me. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I picked the worst person on the planet. Anyway, I got drunk there. They kicked me out. And eventually I ended up detoxing again and landed in a sober living for 2.5 years. The big thing that changed my life, I think, was the court ordered me to do 240 hours of community labor, which was me sweeping trash on the streets on a chain gang. So, like, I showed up the first day, and I was like, total still like a princess, even though I've lost everything and I'm on Medi-Cal disability and have no money, right? And I'm sharing a room with someone in my 40s, right, on a single bed. I'm still, like, all snobby. And I showed up. I'm like, these people are criminals. Like, what am I doing here? Oh, my God. And it's, like, me and, like, 40 fucking Mexican guys in hoodies. Like, and I'm terrified. And they're like, what you here for, Weta? I'm here for a DUI. What you here for? And I was like, I'm here for felony domestic violence with a deadly weapon. They were like, oh, shit. So nobody fucked with me because I was like the only person there for assault. And I swept the streets for, I guess it took me like 1.5 years. No one talked to us. Fucking everyone thought we were, we were criminals. So only homeless, like drunk people talked to us. They were like, good morning. I know it sucks, but it beats the pen. And like there were some dumb fucks who thought we were doing like environmental work. They were like, oh my God, like I love the environmentalism you're doing. Like, how do I become part of this and like clean up the environment? I was like, oh God, it's so easy. You just marry an asshole and then you try and stab him and then fucking here you are on the fucking clean team. So the best moment, guys, was when I was, I was in a tan Dickie shirt that said clean team on the back with a bunch of fucking dudes, and we're sweeping trash. And I ran into someone I dated like 8 years before, and he'd been in like, I knew him from fucking program. And he's in like a $2,000 fucking suit on his way to a meeting. And I was just like, and here I am with like a fucking broom in my hand with this exact hair with it, but like dirt, sweating and pouring, like a big bag of garbage. And I was like, what? I'm like, how sorry are you that you got off this ride, huh? You could have had all this. I just tried to kill my ex, just tried to kill myself, fucking sweeping trash. You fucking blew it, dude. I was just like mortified. So that was it, you guys. I got clean and I haven't picked up since. And does that mean I haven't wanted to? It's been 7 years and it has not been an easy road. Uh, the book, a lot of you have read the book and the book ends like a fucking, he blew it. um, yeah, the guy was like, oh shit, man, did I fucking dodge a bullet there with that crazy bitch? Um, the book ends with me all like in love and happy. And of course that relationship blew the fuck up in my face. And he left me like 3 years ago and I fell into a really deep depression. And my mom got dementia and my dad got cancer and life fucking happens. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't believe that light fell off. And I stayed clean and I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't want to go back to the way it was. It's like, sober life is not always easy. I found a huge bag of crystal after Pride. And I was like, oh my God. And I had to call someone to help them. I was like literally, I just like kept walking back to it and I picked it up and then it's like, it had a hole in it. And then it was like, some of it got on my finger and my fingers and my head's like, smell it, lick it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So I called someone and I was like, they were like, fucking FaceTime me and we're going to flush it. And I was like, it's like $200 worth. And I was like, so I flushed it. So it's hard. You know what I mean? You feel all your feelings and that sucks. So I take a lot of naps because I don't like feelings. And, yeah, my dad's cancer has been really rough. He's going to be fine, but my dad's my fucking world, you know? Um, I haven't fucking been laid in 3 years since that guy dumped me. And now I'm never going to get laid again with the fucking coronavirus. Jesus Christ. You can't even get your fucking hair cut with a mask on. Who's going to fuck you, right? Like, Jesus. My roommate's gay. Like, what am I going to fucking rape him? Like, what's happening? There's nothing happening. I'm going to marry Colonel Puff Puff. That's it. You can bury your cat in Bali, just so you know. So I guess for me, the way that I got clean was, do you want me to just fucking tell sort of like how, like some tools, or is this just supposed to be just horror stories?
You can tell us a bit about recovery, just
a little bit.
It's not God shit. Leave that out.
Oh, I don't do that shit. So basically the way I got clean was by acting like the person that I fucking wanted to be. And like contrary action. And it's like cognitive behavioral therapy. And so I don't think like fucking that God didn't remove my shit. I did it. You know what I mean? By fucking becoming the person that I fucking wanted to be. When I was sweeping the streets, I had this epiphany and I was like, this could be the best fucking thing that ever happened to me. Or it could be the worst thing that ever happened to me. And it's my decision which one it is. And I thought, maybe this could be the best thing. Like, it's not a coincidence. And I just decided to like embrace it. And I thought there's maybe lessons here. Maybe this could fucking be the crossroads of my life. And I did. I was just like, okay, I'm going to learn work ethic. I'm going to learn how to finish what I start. I'm going to, learn how to sweep. I'm going to learn teamwork. I'm going to learn whatever, humility, all that bullshit. And it was like, and I also just didn't want to go to fucking jail. And I thought I have to make this fun. Otherwise, I'm going to fucking blow my fucking brains out. You know what I mean? I had to find the fun in it. I had to make it doable because it was fucking hours and hours and hours. And so I just started to like, act like the person I had. Someone told me you don't have to be a good person. You just have to act like one. No one knows the fucking difference. Because people judge you on your actions. They don't give a fuck about your intentions, you guys. You know what I mean? Like, my intentions were great the whole time. And I was a total fucking whirlwind through everyone's life and destroying everybody. And so first I was like, oh, well, that's not very truthful. And that's not very honest. No one gives a fuck about your honesty, man. Like, if you say you're going to show up somewhere, do you show up or not? That's it. That's all they care about. They don't want to hear your excuses, and you don't get a pass because you're fucking an alcoholic or a junkie or crazy or any of that shit. And so I started to act like the person I wanted to be, whether I felt it or not. And I just faked it. And what I've learned through neuroscience, because I'm geeky, is that, by taking contrary action over and over and over again, you create a new neural pathway in your brain where that becomes your default mechanism. And so you're actually rewiring your brain, and then that's you. You know what I mean? So you don't have to wait for if you wait for the fucking feelings to get clean or write a book or exercise, good luck with that. I did that for fucking 40 years and it never worked. You take the fucking action and it changes your feelings. You know what I mean? It's like, and I want to, so that's what I did, and it fucking changed my life. And now I'm some dumb recovery advocate, and it's like, and I'm not some fucking guru, and I don't pretend it's all fucking perfect, because it's not. I don't have my shit together. I cry a lot, It's like, shit is hard. Life is hard, and fucking I miss drugs. And anyone who says they don't like or miss drugs or alcohol is full of shit. Like, I'm sober, but I do that because I destroy my fucking life and everyone else's when I'm using. And it's just like, I can't, and I've tried every single way to do it, and I just can't, I can't do it. But if you can fucking not shoot heroin and smoke pot, like, fucking my hat's off to you. Like, I can't do anything, Like, I fooled around with one guy, and he made me squirt in the car in a parking lot, and fucking then I got obsessed with him, and it's been like 9 months. And it's like, oh my God, right? Is it too early to talk about squirting? Oh, that's right. It's not early there. Fuck you guys. But I mean, like, I'll just get attached to anyone or anything, right? This guy, like, I mean, it was a fucking coffee date, guys. I was like, it's been 3 years. It's a coffee date. We're at Starbucks. It'll be fine. It's during the day. It's 12:30. And then all of a sudden we're in my car, and he's like jacking me off. And then I'm like still stalk him to this day. So I just, because I like dopamine. And what gives you dopamine, guys? That's what I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to fucking dopamine. What gives you dopamine? Fucking cigarettes, fucking, nicotine, love, sex, fucking attention, drugs, food, all that shit. So whatever gives me fucking dopamine, I'm all about it. A thing that I learned with urges was that, like, if you want to get high or get loaded, if you buy yourself like 20 minutes, like, and watch Ozark or jack off or take a bath or whatever, just like the urge is going to pass whether you get loaded or not. So if you can just buy yourself 20 minutes, it will pass. I have 7 years clean and sober, but there are many times when I wanted to pick up, and I called someone. And you can call someone even if you don't want to get talked out of it. You can still get loaded after you call someone. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, call someone first. But, that was my experience is just like, even now, like, like if I want to send a fucking shitty text, I'll just be like, let's just wait 20 minutes. Let's wait till tomorrow, because once you fire that shit off, it's like you can't take it back. I will always be a fucking addict and alcoholic. I believe that. I think there's a big genetic component. You guys have heard me talk about the genetics of it. I don't know, I've written about it, which is that a bunch of us have the MTHFR gene, which means we can't make enough dopamine. So there's a real genetic component to it for some of us. And I tested for that, and I have it. So I take a supplement, which helps a little bit, but not completely. We'll always feel a little bit like in our skin. But I think that there's a lot of really cool shit. Like, if you look, there's like the coolest people in history were fucking dope fiends and alcoholics. Like, we come with a lot of creativity and intelligence and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, if you can use that towards in something else besides fucking finding a vein in your neck, then you can like accomplish really cool shit. So I'm not ashamed of it. I'm really open about it. It's like, why be ashamed? Like, if I had diabetes, would I be like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't think it's a moral issue. And I don't really give a fuck what it is. Like, this is what I have. And it's like, I like drugs and alcohol, and a fucking vacuum opens up inside me when I fucking pick up. And it used to have a thing with food. I was like bulimic and anorexic, and that sort of went away. But now it's like, now that I'm sober 7 years, it's like sex and love and nicotine. It's gnarly. And so, harm reduction in that area. I do the best I can with it, I think for me, it's easier sometimes to just not do any of it, like to be abstinent completely, even from fucking dudes. I don't do it perfectly, and I think you have to have a sense of humor about it and not shame yourself. That's the other thing. Like, if you fucking relapse, fucking pick yourself up and fucking dust yourself off and start again. Like, fuck shame. Shame is like the worst thing for you. And it's like, shame just kept getting me loaded over and over and over again. And I think we tend to really beat ourselves up and shame ourselves. And what I learned also about genetics and neurotransmitters is that when you feel less than or you feel ashamed or, that you actually lower your dopamine in your brain. So when you lower your dopamine in your brain and you have a fucking addict's brain, what's your fucking brain going to do? Your brain's going to go, I need dopamine. Where do I get it? Dick, pussy, nicotine, fucking cocaine, heroin, sugar, whatever the fuck it is. So it's really important. Oh, here's Colonel Puff Puff. Hello. Bathamanusu. He's been such a dick, you guys, during the quarantine. He's waking me up all night, all fucking night. Get out of here, fucking asshole, jackass. I used to meditate because it made me like less of a dick and less reactive, and I wouldn't be like "fuck you" in like when I was driving. But it made me feel too good, and I didn't think I would be able to write anything interesting, so I stopped. I have a hard time with stuff. Like either I'm doing it every day or I'm not doing it. That's exercise. That's everything. If I give myself a day off, then I'm never going to do it again. So I'm kind of still, I think I'll always have that extreme mentality. I'm either, how we are. We're the smoking crystal or we're fucking vegan. It's like we're not very good at the moderation shit. We're just like, doing CrossFit and like all, buffed out, or we're like shooting heroin. We just can't seem to be really in the middle. It's like, so I hope you're all safe. I hope I said something that helps someone. I guess, if you're new, fucking welcome. If you're back, fucking welcome. If I can get clean, anyone can fucking get clean. Like I fucking was in 7 fucking rehabs and I struggled for 25 years. And the book is dedicated to anyone who thinks it's too late, because I got clean at 43 and I'm 50 now and doing cool shit, and it's never fucking too late, and my life is a zillion times better, and I haven't stabbed anyone since I got clean, so that's good. So anyway, I hope I said something. I love you guys. Fucking Dopey Nation forever.